Okay, my friend, it's Roger once again from you know where, and if you don't like to be amazed, close this channel down instantly. All right, close it down. Just go, 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 go. If you don't want to be amazed, you're in the wrong place. We have a new researcher, Jason Morgan, who has joined the team, and another one as well we will talk about shortly, or I maybe already have. However, Jason lives down in the area where the East Coast dragon is. Now let's see what he has to report. Okay, my friends, exceptional new information today. We have a new researcher. His name is Jason Morgan, who has been looking at Stone Mountain and in that area and has concluded that it is the heart of the dragon. And we agree. Greg Morrison, who is the East Coast dragon expert, concludes he is correct. Now, this is what Stone Mountain looks like. This is the stripes that are created by cardiac muscle tissue, and we'll show that in a little greater detail. But here's where it is. Where do you see this? It's the heart of the dragon. There's the dragon. Everybody knows now about the dragon right here, and the feather. It's a feathered serpent, really. And there's where Stone Mountain is, and it is a gigantic heart, and it is right there in the heart of the dragon. All right, the feathered serpent. I said Iron Mountain. I meant to say Stone Mountain. This was that Jason reported on. He said, I think this is the heart of the dragon. And it is exactly where it should be, and it is exactly gigantic. It's the biggest monolith of this type in the world. And it's a quartz monzonite. Well, let's look what that means. First of all, I completely contest that Stone Mountain is it is composed of what they call quartz monazite, which is muscle tissue from a heart, cardiac muscle. The dome of Stone Mountain was formed during formation of Blue Ridge Mountains around 350 million years ago. Absolutely not. Any of those things are correct. It was not that long ago. During the Carboniferous period, part of the Appalachian Mountains, which is where they found all the coal, because that's all the blood that's solidified. It formed as a result of the upwelling of magma from within the Earth's crust, which is called blood. The magma solidified to form granite within the crust 5 to 10 miles below the surface. Well, Stone Mountain is gigantic. It's underground 9 miles, its longest point, and it is the heart of the dragon. Now let me show you what this type of stone is they're talking about. All right, I got my microscope out. You see this? This is the kind of stone they're talking about, quartz monazite. This is a lung. That is a lung. And they call this Feldspar, all of this kind of patchy stuff that has these colors in it. It's not Feldspar, it's blood and tissue. That's a lung as well. I'm going to show you this in the microscope. You see it. It's absolutely no question. And it's the same kind of tissue that is on everything that separates everything from everything else has this form of tissue, that same sort of coloration, and it's a fibrous material. And in the heart, it gives you this, the heart just continues all day, every day, bada bada boom, bada boom, and it's got red and black right next to each other, which tells me that it's transferring oxygen right here in these spots. The entire thing is an organ of transfer of energy. And it's 100% muscle tissues. And I'll show you Uluru, which is, here's what happened. This fellow Scott saw, I'm sorry, I think it was Jason, Jason saw my video on Uluru, and which is called Ayers Rock, and I'm going to show you to you in a second. It's identical same stuff, because it is also a heart. And he said, well, I saw that, and then I saw Stone Mountain, and it's the same thing. It's a heart, and he's right. It's got the striped, striated muscle. You see this? Striped, striated muscle. Now, There it is right there. And the whole thing is like this, and they are like bundles that they're different colors because they have different, they're almost like gigantic spiraling sarcomeres. Let me show you what a sarcomere is. Alright, these are the things we're looking at right there, sarcomeres. And they're the separations of the muscles. They pull in and so your muscles can muscle. Okay, that's the breaks between the sarcomere bands. And that's the sarcomeres in the muscles. Now don't forget, that's that tendinous stuff that runs through, and these are all the little feather filaments that run off of it into the muscle tissue. Now, why is it not red? How come it's black? There's black and there's red. The black is used blood area, so this is a return area, and this is and blood turns black when it's exposed in a lot of cases, but primarily it's because it's Fe2O2 instead of Fe2O3. The O3 gives you the reddish tint. That's another issue, but anyway, this is the feather muscle. Now this is basically similar to the muscle from Jim. This is, remember these little tiny white lines that running through it, and then the heavier line running through it, which is the big heavy fiber. That's it. I believe they call them feathered muscles. All right, here's another shot from Jim. This is that muscle, the black part of the muscle. You see this right here, that break? That's what's called a sarcomere. Between here and there, that's a sarcomere. I'll show you those. Now, and what happens is this is the part that pinches. And this is all the little different striations. Now remember, I always talk about lichen growing. I say lichen likes the vein blood, the black blood. Now moss, the fluffy looking moss, likes the red blood. It's two different things. But when you see lichen, you're pretty sure that that was some black vein blood area. Well, you saw the other one, the feathered muscle, that was one big stripe and then little tiny fibers going off. Well, this is a different situation. This is coming right out of, I believe, out of like a shoulder muscle or something like that, where you got a ton of fibers together. Well, they're just running parallel to each other. Very cool. All right, all these are different types of muscles, but the one thing that muscles all have in common is they restrict, they constrict. Now, they also have to attach. Now, muscles don't normally attach to anything just as a muscle. They go through a bumper, which is a tendon. And the tendon has flexibility. It's a tendon. And they go in and they start to form into the muscle fibers, as we saw before. I believe this is what we're looking at, a bipinnate muscle, which I call feather muscle, because it looks like a feather. Now, but there's all kind of different muscles, and they do different jobs in the body. And there's ones like these circular muscles and so forth that work in your throat and in your intestines and all that kind of stuff. And then your heart muscle. Let's look at that, because that's what Stone Mountain is a heart, and it's the heart of the dragon. All right, here's the same stuff, the same kind of tissue we were talking about, if you got a really close. And these are exactly what cardiac tissue is made of. This is muscle fiber. It's eroded there. That's Ayers rock, Uluru. And it is cardiac tissue. All right, that's one shot. Let's see what else we got here. We got a whole batch up here from Ayers. All right, that's just a wider shot of it. All right, this is some kind of blood vessel which has surrounding tissue, and that's the exact same stuff, identical, no difference whatsoever. And you know, how do they account for all this? They just say it's something. Let's see, here it is. That's all cardiac muscle fibers, and this whole thing is gigantic. I mean, it's huge, and the red is from red blood. All right, and these are from their spots, which are black spots, and black and white I find in stripes on hearts. I have one here that has it. See, this is exactly what it is. It's exactly the same stuff. as all of the lungs and hearts and anything that has muscle fibers that has to be flexible and have a lot of red blood available to it. See the black? That black is the deoxygenated blood, and it's apparently these are the return veins, or at least one up here, and it's running down. They may not be here. They look awful red in here. So I think this is the vein up here, and it's just dripping down past that. Although I can't be certain. Anyway, what do we got here? Oh, here's another one. Look at this. How do they explain these things? That's a little cavity from somewhere. I don't know. That's probably some ventricle wall area or something. What else we got? Hold on. All right, here's the whole thing. You see it? There's all those stripes. And that's what he said. He says, it looks like that Stone Mountain. I said, yeah, you're right. Well, of course, Greg had to sign off on it. He's the one that's taking care of the East Coast drag. Now, what do we got here? There's those spots. Now, I don't know exactly what's going on there, to be perfectly honest with you, but they turn black. All right? And all of these things, you think these Baalbek stones were, that's a natural, exactly what it came out of the ground looking like. They come out. They didn't cut those. That is the slurpy stuff on the side of a tendon. And I think I might have all the other stuff to go with this. Yeah, you see that? That's all the red, bloody, slurpy stuff on the side, which, these are tendons. There's just tendon fibers in there. You can't really, you might be able to see them. Becky, thank you. Becky Dory just sent me this. And you can see these, if they didn't flush out like this was in salts or something. This didn't. This just petrified. That is the blood vessel investment that comes down and services this tissue. It's square as can be. I have them here, identical, a little smaller, but identical. Same bloody stuff on the side, same square formation, same dead end. They did not cut that.